Here we are in my hydroponic greenhouse. On the left you will see my tomatoes and peppers, which are being fed through a drip line system. The water originates in a 20-gallon tank I have buried in the ground just below that piece of styrofoam, and it travels upward to the tabletops where I have several 5-gallon buckets. The drip lines feed into tomato plants that are planted in lava rock as their soil-less media, with a netting in the back so that they can climb as they get larger. And the tabletop tomatoes are connected by hose to other 5-gallon buckets on a shelf below, so they feed into my pepper plants on the shelf. And then as these plants on the shelf drain, you can see they are draining into a rain gutter. So all of the plants on the lower level are being fed by the plants on the higher level, and they all drain into the rain gutter, which carries the water back to the 20-gallon tank at the base. I also have some larger trays with lava rock that are growing strawberries and Brussels sprouts and peppers and cucumbers. My other system is fed by a 50-gallon tank buried in the ground right there, and that water is being pumped up to my first grow tank, which currently does not have a lot. I have about 3 herbs in it. That is the source of the water, and it flows out into 2 directions. The large pipe flows down into another large tray, which is a rafting system where my lettuce is planted in pool noodles and floating on water that is being aerated by a fish bubbler. You can see the roots that are floating in the aerated water. The other line that comes out of the initial tub feeds into some narrow trays, also filled with lava rock. The first tray has nothing planted in it yet. The second tray has all leafy herbs like oregano, parsley, lavender, sage. The water flows through the base of each of these containers for about the 1 to 1.5 inches on the bottom of each of them, and they drain or waterfall or cascade into the next tray below, which this tray has basil and parsley in it. And at the end of this tray I have an NFT system, or a nutrient film technique system, where a thin layer of water drains into the gutter, and again I have plants that are being supported by plant noodles as the roots are being fed through the nutrient flow at the base of each rain gutter. So the water washes across the roots of each of these plants, which currently I have peppers and herbs, and then it cascades down into the rain gutter below, where I have more herbs and pepper plants, and then it drains off into another large tray where I have scented geranium, which is a citronella plant, kale, purple cabbage, and some Asian cabbage. You can see the purple cabbage and the kale has really taken off. And then once it drains out of this tub, it goes back into the 50-gallon tank and recirculates. So I have 2 systems in my greenhouse. The one on the left is for fruit-bearing plants, so it is fed nutrients that will cause the plants to bloom and fruit. And on the right hand side and straight ahead, I have leafy greens such as lettuce and cabbage and herbs, which will all not bear fruit, but they will simply become large and leafy. So that is my hydroponic greenhouse. I also have some things, as you can see, planted in soil just to kind of make things pretty. Hopefully the ground cover will take off and cover up all the dirt and give me a green carpet in here eventually. I also have Swiss chard and spinach growing in soil next to the other container, which I have more in my raft system, which is going crazy as well. Thanks for watching.